Hi, welcome back to Speakerstack Music. So for those of you that are new to the channel, we're a music channel that do Ableton tutorials and post demos, and I've recently upgraded to Ableton 12 and I'm going to be really looking forward to getting stuck into that and getting more tutorials out on the many features of Ableton 12, and also do some series of videos where I break down how to create songs that sound like other bands or songs in particular genres using Ableton 12. So if that sounds interesting, then, and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It'd be absolutely fantastic to have you as a subscriber. And also thanks to all of you that have already subscribed and are watching these videos and finding them helpful. And again, if you are finding them helpful, just give them a thumbs up if you get a chance. Just takes a second and it really helps us push this channel out to more people and grow it. So just wanted to say thanks for your support, and thanks to each and every one of you that's watching these videos. It really means a lot. So okay, this is video 6 in a sequence where I'm actually going to set up a playlist where I'm creating a number of drum beat templates in Ableton 12, and I've done 5 already for rock and kind of funk genres, and this is going to be another one based around a James Brown drum beat for a song that he did called It's a New Day. And I'm going to put these up as a playlist, and the idea is that as you've actually got a set of drum beat templates that you can click on, open up, and launch at the start of the song as a starting kind of foundation for the track. Because if you're like me, if you're a guitarist or a pianist or someone who just kind of wants to dive straight into the melody on a song, the beat, the drum beat, it's an afterthought. It's something that I don't actually get around to kind of doing until the last bit of the song. I'll probably put a guide track down, but yeah, it tends to be a rough drum beat, and then I'm like, oh cry, I've got to think about putting the drum beat down now properly. What do I do? Where do I go? So these are the kind of things I want to set up just to kind of change the habit and change the way I'm working with Ableton, so that when I actually launch it, I'm going straight into the drum beat, straight into the bottom end, getting the drum beat sorted out. And if I have a template set up, then it's going to just make that so much easier. So that's the logic around it. And as I said, this is going to be based on James Brown, It's a New Day. So this is what it sounds like. This is what I've created. I'm just going to give you a blast of the beat. Here we go. Cool, so there you go. So it's a really fast funk beat this. You'll see that the BPM is set at 116, so really fast funk beat for It's a New Day by James Brown. And yeah, there's just a few other things to mention before I go in and actually show you how I've created the beat, although you can actually start to see it down here. The first thing to say on it, obviously, yeah, is the tempo is set at 116, really fast beat. Second thing to say on it is this is a 4/4 time signature, so it's 4 to the, well, it's not 4 to the floor, but it's 4 beats in the bar as a time signature. Third thing to say on it is that I'm using a Impulse drum kit that I created a few months ago, and if you want to check out how I created that Impulse drum kit in Ableton as a unique kind of kit from scratch, using my own samples and the sounds that I wanted for each of the individual kind of component parts of the kit, then there'll be some links at the end of this video. You can click on those, go in, and there'll be, I think there's 2 or 3 videos I did a few months ago, how to create a Impulse drum kit in Ableton. So if you click on those, you'll see that there's probably an hour's worth of material there. We can actually go in and it'll show you how to set up a Impulse instrument, how to drop samples into it, how to then produce it, and how to build up the drum kit in the way and sounding like you want it to. And it's just a fantastic, versatile way of doing that. So I've already done that before I've actually created these drum beat templates. So again, if you want to kind of do things from scratch, then go into those tutorials and they'll help you do that. And then the fourth thing to mention on this, and really I wanted to do a bit of research before I started these videos, and a lot of the drummers online talk about using a particular count, particularly for breakbeat sounds, which I guess is what you're essentially working with here, a breakbeat rhythm, something that's kind of going to be sampled or you might have heard on other records through the years. And they talk about having 16 step beats or 16 funk beats. So essentially it's your 4 beats to a bar, but within each of those 4 beats you've also got an additional 4 beats. So you can see here, essentially if you click on this clip of music here at the top, all of these are the same, by the way, scrolling across here, and this is for the kick. You'll see that you've got the first beat, and then you've got 1.2, which is the second beat, 1.3, which is the third beat, and 1.4, which is the fourth beat. But within that, you've also got half beats or eighths and quarter beats or sixteenths. So you can see here, so you open it up a little bit, you've got the 1.1.3, which is the half beat on the first beat, and then another half beat 1.2.3, and then another half beat on 1.3.3, and then hopefully if I just drag that across, a final half beat on 1.4.3. So if you just had that, you'd be dealing in kind of eighths, but actually if we open it out a bit, you can see that you've got sixteenths, and I've started to draw some notes in. So these are all sixteenths: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the final 4 down there, 13, 14, 15, 16. So these are 16th, and it just gives you far more versatility. So each of these beats here is a certain length, and I've drawn them in using the pencil icon here. So you'll see that you can get 4 in within each bar. So those are the 4 quarters within the bar. And drummers have a particular count with these that they use when they're actually talking through when they're counting the rhythm in, and when they're working out when to play the kick, when to play the snare, when to play the hi-hats. And you'll see we've got a couple of hi-hats here. I'm just going to scroll that down so you can see. Oh, sorry, we've just got the one actually. It's a closed hi-hat. On some of the other ones I've done, we've had other things in, but it's like there's just 3 parts of the kit on this. So the count that they use for these 16th beats is a particular way of kind of describing it, I guess. And they've got obviously they start off with a 1 because that's the start of that first beat and the first beat in the bar. And then if they were doing one here, that would be a 2, and that would be a 3, and that would be a 4. But you've also got these 3 other bits here. And the way that they're described is you've got a 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and... So you see, so you've actually got a count that when you're working within 4 beats to a bar, gives you actually 16th parts to the bar, if you like, and that's what I'm using when I'm creating these drum beats, if you like, and having 16ths just gives you the opportunity to hang back off the grooves. You're not actually bang on the beat, you're on the off beats, and it just gives a more shuffle kind of funky groove to it. So let's plow on then in terms of talking you through what I've set up. So for the first one, we've got the kick, and we've got a beat on the 1, and then we've got a second beat on the and within the first beat section. Nothing on the second beat, but then on the third beat, nothing on the beat, but then on the off beat, on the and or the 8th within that third beat, we've got another beat, and then we've also got an bit at the end. So it would be 3 E and and then on the 4th beat, nothing again, nothing on the E, nothing on the and, but the final 5th beat is on the at the end of that 4th section. So I'll just play you that and you can see how it looks. So not having it bang on the beat just gives you a really interesting kind of groove, kind of shuffling, funky groove. As I say, so you got one on the 1, E and nothing on the 2, E and then a 3 E and then 4 E and at the end. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's how drummers will count the groove on when you're using a 16th step beat, which we're using for these tutorials. That seems to be the way they're describing it online. So hopefully that's made sense to you. So we're going to move on to the snare now. And with all of these snare beats, again, just dead easy. You've got one on the second beat and one on the 4th beat. Don't worry too much about the length of these notes. They're just shortened beats. But, I mean, essentially, you could have them a bit longer, like that, and they'd still be on the on beat. So I'm just going to play that. Cool. So yeah, dead easy and bang on the 2nd and the 4th beat within the bar. And the closed hi-hats are really easy as well, because we talked a little bit earlier about eighths, And this is exactly what you're doing on the hi-hats. You're dropping eighths in basically. So you got one on the 1, then the half beat, then the 2, then the half beat, then the 3, then the half beat, then the 4, then the half beat. Dead easy. And again, don't worry too much about the length, because actually you'll be doing something like that if you stretched all the notes out. So you got the 1 E and A. Would that be right? 1 E. Yeah, and then the and obviously will be a lot longer. We've just got a very short beat note on that, and then the A at the end. So imagine them 4 squares long, if you like, something like that, and then you'll see what I mean. And that's it, essentially. So that's the closed hi-hat. In terms of kind of using this, I guess I'll be looking to use it on some sort of funk rock track or a fast hip-hop track. Looking forward to using it in the future. So thanks for watching. I hope that's been useful. Again, if it has been useful, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. We've got a couple of funk tracks now, funk beats in the library. Oh, and one final thing just before we go, I'm just going to show you how I have saved it as a template. So if you go into File, then go to Save Live Set as Template, and then you click on that, it opens it up as another template. You can see we've got the 5 in there that we've already done. So this is template number 6, and I'm going to call it something like Fast James Brown Funk Groove or something like that. So all that remains is just to say thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.